Hey, I'm about to read some poetry. Do you like poetry?
I'll be voting for a fella.
Okay, this is called The Hymn to Pan. Aleister Crowley's Hymn to Pan was written during a visit to Moscow during the summer of 1913, represents one of the most powerful and invocative works. Crowley had originally intended this poem to be published in 1915 in an anthology of his work entitled The Giant's Thumb, which unfortunately didn't see publication until after his death. The Hymn to Pan saw its first publication in 1919 in the Equinox, Volume 3, Number 1. This publication was soon followed in the same year by a separate broadsheet printed by the Renshaw Press for the Argus Bookshop in Chicago. Crowley also included the poem in his magnum opus Magic and Theory and Practice, published in Paris in 1930. In 1931, the poet Fernando Pessoa translated the poem into Portuguese and published it in the periodical Prisioneca 33. Crowley thought enough of this poem to include it in his anthology of poetry entitled Ola, an anthology of 60 years of song. At Crowley's request, the Hymn to Pan was one of several of his works recited at his funeral by his longtime friend and fellow poet Louis Wilkinson. Okay, without further ado, this is the Hymn to Pan. This is the dust jacket still. I thrill with rapture. I soar on wings of sudden joy. O Pan, appear to us. O Pan, roving over the sea from the yet craggy ridge of snow, beaten Silene. King who makest dances for the gods. Oh no, it's Kamala. God damn it. Hi, Kamala. Are you there, Kamala? Because, I mean, I'm pretty worried that you're going to become the next president of the United States. Very upsetting news. What do you have to say for yourself? You don't have anything to say? Go figure. Typical. Typical. Yeah, dance party, huh? Fuck you, bitch. Hi, Eager here. I just put Kamala back in the audience because I can't allow democracy to be subverted. She claims on her YouTube ads that we have to defeat this threat to our democracy. She's so full of shit. She is the threat to democracy.
She's a really nice woman, though. Bring her back.
Do you know that she doesn't even have kids? That those kids are Mr. Emhoff's previous marriage, and they claim they're a big happy family.
Yeah, no kids. Childish and childless.
Childless, and childish.
Childish and childless is my thesis for a lot of what's going wrong with Americans nowadays. It's the Indian community, but it's focus on the career over any sort of basic reality.
No, that's not true. You can't just focus on going to a job every morning.
No, she's focused on that Willie Brown's pecker and Montel, and focus on every pecker that can make her move upward.
Oh, I see.
Using that upward pecker swing, she's swinged on peckers upwards.
So what you're saying is she's always been focused on energy.
Yes.
Movement.
On the Kundalini Shakti, or the could it be the lingam energy that she so craves, the black lingam from her past.
The lingam, yeah.
You know.
Do you know how to say cum or sperm in Sanskrit?
No, I don't know Sanskrit.
It's called dindu. kidding. It's not didn't do nothing. It's
I thought Dinda is a word, so I thought, wow.
no. I know the term. It's bindu.
So Bindu is the word for the
That's the name for the ejaculate. Yeah.
Bindu. Nice.
That special little bindu. All right, do you? This is a poem reading room. You know, I try to break the patterns here and break my brain down so I can, you know, try to gain a deeper understanding of where I went wrong, so my future is more glorious than my past.
Yes, sir. Go for it. Go for it. I'll be in and out.
Okay, this is the Hymn to Pan by Aleister Crowley. Thrill with lissom lust of the light. Oh man, my man. Kamala, mute your mic. Come careering out of the night. Okay, you don't want to help? I'm going to put you in the audience because I'm recording this.
Sit down, huh?
Yeah, fucking hell. I'm going to start it over. Thrill with lissom lust of the light. Oh man, my man. Come careering out of the night of Pan, Eopan. Eopan, Eopan, come over the sea from Sicily and from Arcady, roaming as Bacchus with fauns and pards, and nymphs and satyrs for thy guards. On a milk-white ass, come over the sea to me, come with Apollo in bridal dress, shepherdess and pythoness. Come with Artemis, silken shod, and wash thy white thigh, beautiful God, in the moon of the woods, on the marble mount, the dimpled dawn of the amber fount. Dip the purple of passionate prayer in the crimson shrine, the scarlet snare, the soul that startles in the eyes of blue to watch thy wantonness weeping through the tangled grove, the gnarled bole of the living tree that is spirit and soul.
Hello, guys.
Hello. And body and brain come over the sea. Eopan. Eopan. I'm reading poetry here. You're interrupting me.
You're supposed to farm.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, yes, it's very good. I'm from Ukraine. I'm spot farm. Give my
Devil or God, to me, my man, come with trumpets sounding shrill. Over the hill, come with drums, low muttering from the spring. Come with flute, and come with pipe. Am I not ripe? I, who wait and writhe and wrestle with air that hath no bowers to nestle, my body weary of empty clasp, strong as a lion, sharp as an asp. Come, oh, come, I am numb with the lonely lust of devildom. Thrust the sword through the galling feta, all devourer, all begetter. Give me the sign of the open eye, and the token erect of thorny thigh, and the word of madness and mystery. O Pan, Eopan, 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 pan. I am a man. Do as thou wilt, as a great God can. O Pan, Eopan, Eopan, Io Pan Pan! I am awake in the grip of the snake. The eagle slashes with beak and claw. The gods withdraw. The great beasts come, Io Pan. I am born to death on the horn of the unicorn. I am Pan, Io Pan, Io Pan, Pan, Pan. I am thy mate, I am thy man, goat of the flock. I am gold, I am God. Flesh to thy bone, flour to thy rod. With hoofs of steel, I race on the rocks, through solstice stubborn to equinox. And I rave, and I rape, and I rip, and I rend. Everlasting, world without end. Mannequin, maiden, manid, man, in the might of Pan. Io Pan, Io Pan Pan, Pan, Io Pan. Okay, that's a take. Okay, I'm gonna upload this to TikTok.
Interesting.
Okay, this is the hymn.
What was that?
He calls Pan the Raper. You know, Pan is known to rape with a big dick. They used to say that Pan has made some statements like, "We will smoothen your asshole wrinkles" and stuff like that. I will smoothen your asshole wrinkles. He loves to go out at night and sodomize. That's part of the story of Pan.
Oh, lovely. Had no idea.
Yeah, check it out. It's for real.
Well, so this is the way that I interpret it, because basically I think that that poem is a way to awaken your kundalini. And that's, Pan is just a metaphor to the spirit, basically. But he's trying to make it seem like the god of nature. But it's basically Hinduism. It's the chakra system, and that poem is a hypnosis to basically try to awaken your kundalini, or usher in the kundalini.
Yeah, maybe it does that because you're feeling it in those areas, and this guy's wriggling around. It's a gay poem. It's a homosexual poem. We're talking about the gay rituals at the very least.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate.
You know, and to invite all of the demonic energy or the spiritual energy in you. Have you heard of the singer Kate Bush? Kate Bush.
No.
This was an '80s singer, early '80s. Before, you know, I was born in '78. I don't know when you were born, but bottom line is slightly before my time. It's making a big comeback with Netflix, Stranger Things, the TV show that people watch. I have no interest in those shows or propaganda, but the Kate Bush is very interesting. She looks like a witch, so it should be interesting to you.
I'm not. This is the thing. I'm
somewhat Crowley. It's Crowley-eyed.
This is the thing. I read this information, and if I meet people out there that are like satanic, you know, they're never ever attractive. They always have mental health issues. They're always sad. They're always depressed. They don't exercise. They don't read.
It's not true, man. Look at this Kate Bush. I'm telling you, very good looking. Look at Lana Del Rey. She is a occult witch. She admits, unless she's just lying, but she looks unbelievable. So a lot of these witches are good looking. Like Madonna was good looking when she was younger.
That's all. You know, sort of. She only looked good because she's in your memory, because that stupid Poopa took so many photos. But she's a little nothing. Even then, she was a little nothing.
I agree. She's kind of average witch that gets all the PR.
She used to fuck Jean-Michel Basquiat, and you know, I have a couple of Basquiats hanging up on my walls. I mean, whether they're real or not, I don't know, but she's, you know, she's a piece of trash. Her children are trash. She's trash. But she did invoke the image of Madonna, and
yeah, and she did. What was the song where she's writhing around on a cross, fucking in her lingerie. Life is a mystery.
Well, so that's the power of music. I mean, that's essentially one of the things where, I don't want to go to concerts anymore. Like my friend, he goes to concerts all the time. He's like, "Come on, man, I got front row tickets, dude. I'll pay for your ticket." I'm like, "No, man." I'm like, "I'm done going to these hypnosis fests. I want to be on the stage hypnotizing the audience. Why don't you come to my fucking performance? And you can come for free. You don't have to buy a ticket. You can just listen to me play music and sing songs and read poetry." And he's like, "Fuck you, dude." I'm like, "Wow." Like, you're wasting your life. Like, you don't even get laid going to these concerts. You're not making money. You're spending all this money to listen to the same songs over and over again. Are you mental? And he's like,
Well,
"No."
this year we're playing. I say we because I'm a 1/1000th owner this year. We are hosting the Eagles in September.
Not the fucking Eagles, man. Turn the fucking. Come on, man. I hate the fucking Eagles.
They've had a full run of Fish, Grateful Dead. They're in U2 was the first run. U2's cheesy though.
How the fuck do you? You're so full of shit. How the fuck do you own 1/1000th of the Sphere? Impossible.
Yeah.
What are you?
So it's publicly traded.
What stock is it?
SPHO.
SPHO. What is that? What's the name of the company?
Sphere Entertainment.
Huh. I had no idea. I didn't know it was public.
Yeah, I'm diversified with it. I've got 95% in Sphere and 5% in a few other things. So I started getting a position in October, around after U2 played, and I was watching and analyzing the news. Got pretty convinced this is for real.
It's up.
Downside mitigated. It's already making its cash back. It's cash flow positive.
It's up 30% year to date.
We got them where we want them.
It's just like Madison Square Garden, though. I mean, what you've done is buy a venue, and Citadel increases investment in Sphere. That was a day ago. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Buying Madison Square Garden early would have been good.
Yeah. He's bought.
John, it's like Cirque du Soleil or some show on Broadway's. Something like buying that too, because they just keep plug and playing. Once they create a CD, they just play that 3 times a day, and people come and watch it. So they have to create an entire studio, so the overhead's pretty high. But it's a big feature, man. This Darren Aronofsky, he's big time hypnosis.
Yeah. I know. I know his movies. Have you seen Pi? Yeah. Like those movies, those are real movies where it's not just CGI. They don't even make movies anymore. I mean, everything is a giant $100 million movie. The movie Dune. But these little mini movies, that's the thing about Hollywood, where you can have this huge ROI. Where if you really have, not a great story to tell, but if you can present incredible symbolic representation, you can make a little movie with a small shoestring budget into a big blockbuster. But that only implies that they're going to work with you and give you distribution and marketing for your incredible symbolic film. And chances are you could create one of the greatest movies ever made, and nobody's going to touch you because it's not theirs. Maybe they'll recreate what you made, but that's the thing. It's like working in the system versus working outside the system. My biggest mistake has always been, I'm an independent thinker. I want to think outside the box. I don't want to be a part of this system. No, motherfucker, be in the system, and you can't fail. Like it's part. And then if you want to go outside the system, you can only go outside the system if you already made it within the system. Anyway, so I went to my boat yesterday and I cleaned the shit out of it and I fixed it. I'm pretty sure I got the leaks all plugged up. So now I have to try to read the manual on my motor and find out if I can. I need to get a friend to come with me out there, but I'm gonna actually take the boat out and like dock it by the beach or park it out in the lake and then swim back and forth and whatnot. But I've got to start using this boat. It's kind of interesting. Like I was in the Army, but being in the Navy and knowing how to sail is a far more useful skill to have than knowing how to pull the trigger on a fucking rifle and pull the pin on a grenade. There's a Trump rally here in Chicago, July 4th. No, that already happened. Okay, I'm going to record a second poem. I don't know if you read out loud, Evital, but it's really good for your mental health, your brain health.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like being a theater actor. People discount actors; they think they're stupid. But if you can read, how are you stupid? I just read an article on MSN yesterday claiming that adults are like the reading, the amount of people reading has gone down because of cell phone usage, like 80-90%. So you're dealing with a lot of people that are just screen lookers and they're not using the functional parts of their brain to actually process the words through their brain. So you're dealing with like the largest mass hypnosis in human history. Never, like, cell phones are basically the televisions of the 50s and that technology, but put in the palm of your hand, and basically it's like a permanent demon. I call it the cell phone trap because it's like being put in a prison. It's a cell. So when I leave my house now and I go to the gym or go to my boat, I don't even bring my cell phone with me. And not being connected to the internet of all things is like the true liberation now, which is funny. If you want to free yourself, you have to essentially get off the cell drug addiction, or because it's like, see what I'm saying? I challenge you, Evie Tall, for the next 7 days, spend at least 1 hour completely away from your phone. Go out of your house, go out of your office, and be 1 hour without your phone and see how much you enjoy it and see how much it impacts your mental health being completely disconnected, because that 1 hour away from your phone will impact your other 23 hours when you're constantly gravitating towards using your cell phone. You're a power user on this app, and I gotta say, like, it's to your detriment.
But look, John, I've got it in the background a lot of the times while I use market hours, and then at night for sure just sitting around with that in the background after the kids go to sleep. But
Yeah.
yes, you're exactly right. I was in Vegas for about 10 days. I barely used the phone. I
Oh
was
wow.
walking several miles a day. Playing poker tournaments, you get 20-minute breaks every 2 hours. And
Maybe you know two of my friends that I grew up with. They're pros. One of them his name is Tom Coral. I don't know. I think maybe I talked to you about him. You looked him up, I think. But his name is Tom
I
Coral.
looked him up. I didn't know him, but
yeah,
looks good.
yeah, he's pro. And then my buddy Bill McKiernan, he's also semi-pro, but who knows? He doesn't talk to me anymore.
Let's see how Tom did in the series. Wow. He got a final table in the 10K mix game, which is very high. I don't know how to say the word.
Steak?
Those are some Eagles. Those are some Eagles playing the 10K mix. You got to understand a lot of different games. Each is final table against the best in the world, basically. Yeah. 65K for his efforts. Let's see what else he did. A bunch of men caches. He was in the running on all these other 600, 800, 1500. I love these. Then he plays the 10K Big O. Oh, shit. It's like a dream event for me, by the way.
Yeah, he's got a lot of real estate. He's got
5-card high-low. These are my favorite games that your friend likes. PLO high-low and 5-card high-low, where you can get the lowest or the highest. It kind of hedges the pot out. You gotta be tricky, man.
He's got no kids. He just got married. But he's a multi-millionaire, and his online winnings I think dwarfs his real world winnings. One time he told me he played this Chicago Board of Trade options trader online, and he won 100,000 from him in like an hour or 2 hours. And the guy was local. He's like, meet me at I can't remember the name of the casino. He's like, meet me at this casino and I'll play you heads up in a private room. So he meets him at the casino and he takes another 100,000 out of him. and he jumped across the table and tried to kill him. And the security and everybody like stepped in and they permanently banned him from ever going into the casino again.
It's funny. You just lost it.
Yeah, he was like apparently, making a lot of money trading at the CBOT, but throwing it all away to online poker sharks. That's the thing. It's like when you make money playing poker, it's not just how bad your opponent is, it's who you're playing against. Like it is a personal thing, meaning that like it's your brain molecules versus their brain molecules, and you're both constantly doing calculations. But there's this like bluff element, this confidence game element where if you're thinking, about what they're like, you see how the brain can automatically start generating thoughts while you're playing, and then that basically is a lie. You're lying to yourself because your brain is running on automation.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it works out sometimes, but I think most of the time it's like a meditation. When you're playing, you're technically doing meditation.
100%. Anybody decent is zoned in, relaxed, not really spending much energy, but the eyes are ultra active in taking in the information, remembering what people said or did through the flow of the hand, and also just what they look like. But yeah, I'm starting to get really good as I get older, trumpet. A lot of the older, I'm able to play stretches really patiently, and also just get loose whenever I want to, which is my natural state.
Well, I would say the work you do outside of your poker work is how you actually impact your poker work. Like if you go to the gym, if you do meditation, if you read a book before you even play and you read it out loud, like you're loosening up, the columns in your brain. And that's one way to pre-hack a game. Like you don't hack the game real time, you pre-hack the game before you even step into the simulation.
Yeah, right.
So, that's the one thing. It's like if you're going to step into a fight and you're not prepared, or you're going to have to step into a
I used to use Bose noise canceling headphones and listen to music and stuff to zone out, but I ditched those a couple of years ago and I felt a lot better about my game since then.
Well, that's not work. That is not how you silence your mind with Bose noise canceling headphones. You have to do what I think you can do is you can hypnotize. I should write a book on hypnosis for poker players, or
that'd be great.
I even thought
it's real.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of poker specific techniques like stretching and yoga stretching around. There's easy hard floors everywhere, in these kind of conference centers. So a little stretching, and then using the chip to revolve the chip into a hypnotic kind of gimmick. And here's the key, John. When you put the money out there and you don't want him to call, or you're at risk, there's spots where you don't want to. If you're hypnotic, you don't give away anything. Dude, there's people like that. They just wear a tank top. Let's fucking sit there. Like, go ahead, look at everything you want. There's a guy, Joe Serock, Serock. They call him Flo. This dude is in another dimension, dude. He's out there like he's on acid all the time.
Well, that's like going silent. That's like not talking and just letting your ears be your lips, meaning that like there's a danger in that though, because that is a form of hypnosis, but the word, it's like, so I read this book, I think it's called like the Zen of Golf or something, and Richard Palmer, or Palmer, like some famous golfer. So like if it was getting really close on the tee box, he would say, I really like on your follow through how your knee, bends right at the right moment. You've got such incredible posture. And so he'll just say something like that, so that when you go up to the tee box, you're thinking, oh my God, he's talking about my body. And then you start thinking about what he just put into your head. And how is that any different than what is happening on Clown House? You're talking about people coming in here for 3 hours a day, 6 hours a day, 9 hours a day. Some people wake up at 6, 7 in the morning because they were on here till 4 at night. So my point is, that's why I created this room, is because, I want to read poetry to essentially get ahead of the curve of the stupidity of this app. I mean, it is a ghetto gagger app. And
Well, they've finally got some traction. Now that Kamala is the president candidate, they've got 100, 200 people in rooms talking about how great Kamala is. So the clown house is turning into a cam house.
it is like a political campaign organizing app, a decentralized version of it. But I mean, I don't even know where to start. This woman is like, she's gonna become the president. That's my opinion.
News anchor guy that they kicked out interviewed Russia. Putin took 2.5 hours explaining the connection between Ukraine, which was once the capital of Russia, Kiev, and the country of Russia. So when you look at Biden told the board, hey, yo, you got to get rid of this guy. So they took over the country with the NGOs. They actually overthrew the government in '08, got rid of him, he ran to Russia. Now they own the politics and the government. And then they go in and say, your Coptic, your old Coptic religion that you have, we're going to get rid of them. You're going to be Catholics now, right? Russians are not Catholics. Their religion is closer to Ethiopia. Because of the Byzantine Empire and 350 years of separation, because of the Mongols Empire came in and controlled Russia for 350 years. When Ottoman Empire fell, Russia became aligned back with the East, and they kept their Black Jesus. That's why you can pull out a lot of Black prophets from the Bible that they never stopped worshiping, because they knew in the Old Testament and the old ways before the Byzantine Empire, all the prophets are Black. They knew that. But because the Mongols prevented them from trading with the Europeans, that's how that happened. So you've seen in real-time history unfolding, but a lot of people are making connections. So now you're talking about a superpower like Russia, where they come into Ukraine to take over Ukraine with the NGOs and the corporations and overthrow the
model that they've got the money held up in, because realistically they don't have our money. Like, you look into your account and it says blah blah blah, but that money isn't even there. That's just like what you're in credit of.
Thrill with listen, lust of the light. Oh man, my man. Kamala, mute your mic.
Come careering out of the night. Okay, you don't want to help? I'm going to put you in the audience because I'm recording this.
Sit down, huh?
Yeah, fucking hell. I'm going to start it over. Thrill with lissome lust of the light. Oh man, my man, come careering out of the night of Pan, Eopan. Eopan, Eopan, come over the sea from Sicily and from Arcady, roaming as Bacchus with fauns and pards, and nymphs and satyrs for thy gods. On a milk-white ass, come over the sea to me, come with Apollo in bridal dress, shepherdess and pythoness. Come with Artemis, silken shod, and wash thy white thigh, beautiful God, in the moon of the woods, on the marble mount, the dimpled dawn of the amber fount. Dip the purple of passionate prayer in the crimson shrine, the scarlet snare, the soul that startles in the eyes of blue, to watch thy wantonness weeping through the tangled grove, the gnarled bole of the living tree that is spirit and soul.
Hello, guys.
Hello. And body and brain come over the sea.
You're not Donald Trump.
I'm reading poetry here. You're interrupting me.
You're support Donald Trump.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, yes, it's very good. I am from Ukraine. I'm support Trump. Trump give my
Devil or God, to me, my man, come with trumpets sounding shrill. Over the hill, come with drums, low muttering from the spring. Come with flute, and come with pipe. Am I not ripe? I, who wait and writhe and wrestle with air that hath no bowers to nestle, my body weary of empty clasp, strong as a lion, sharp as an asp. Come, oh, come, I am numb with the lonely lust of devildom. Thrust us all through the goring feta, all devourer, all begetter. Give me the sign of the open eye and the token erect of thorny thigh, and the word of madness and mystery. O Pan, Eopan, 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 Pan. I am a man who is a will, as a great God can. O Pan, Eopan, Eopan, Pan. I am awake in the grip of the snake. The eagle slashes with beak and claw. The gods withdraw. The great beasts come, Eopan. I am born to death on the horn of the unicorn. I am Pan, Eopan, Eopan, Pan. I am thy mate, I am thy man. Good of the flock, I am gold, I am God. Flesh to thy bone, flour to thy rod. With hoofs of steel, I race on the rocks, through solstice stubborn to equinox. And I rave, and I rape, and I rape, and I rend. Everlasting, world without This is The Hymn to Pan by Aleister Crowley. Thrilled with lissome lust of the light. Oh man, my man. Paula, mute your mic. Come careering out of the night. Okay, you don't want help? I'm gonna put you on notes because I'm recording this.
Sit down.
I'm gonna start it over. Thrilled with lissome lust of the light. Oh man, my man. Come careering out of the night of Pan. Yo Pan. Yo Pan. Yo Pan. Come over the sea from Sicily and from Arcady, roaming as Bacchus with fauns and hearts and nymphs and satyrs.
I haven't heard
Oh my
anything from
God.
it. Like it's like they off the.
On a milk
Do you
white
remember what his
come
name
over the
is?
sea to me.
No, and I'm trying to find him in a like other things like very gifted.
Bridal dress, shepherdess, and pythoness. Come with Artemis, silken and shod, and wash thy white thigh, beautiful God, in the moon of the woods, on the marble mount, the dimpled dawn of the amber fount. In the purple passion and prayer, in the crimson shrine, the scarlet soul startles, the eyes blue.
My daddy's from Nicaragua. My mother's from Honduras, right? What is the most pragmatic thing for you and I to do as brown people in the United States if you live here? Is it to root against the United States and root for Russia? Is Russia going to come in here and look after our interests?
No. It's to understand where you have to first understand the system you're living in and living with, and learn how to work. You can't really work any system to make changes. You have to be the anomaly on the outside, and you went up like Malcolm X, right? Not even Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King became a threat after he started telling the black people that he's made a mistake, and I think he has handed over the black people's votes to the Democrats for the next 100 years because of the mistake he made in New York City when he made that deal in that hotel, put them in the position that they're in to this day, where they lost economic empowerment. So I'll give you, anyone in this room, 4 simple things you can do in your life to start to have independence of mind. One thing, everything you've been taught, you've been lied to, you've been programmed. Every television station you watch, every program that comes in front of you.
Who the fuck are you, Morpheus?
No, it's programming, man. And I'm saying to you that unless and until you start to think for yourself and look through what you're telling me, listen to me. You have to look through what you're seeing and what they're telling you. Because what they're giving you is, if you cannot look for news outside the country about the war in Ukraine, and I started to look for news outside the country about the war in Ukraine, I would have never known what I just told you. Because I look for news on, if they say don't listen to Russia, you may want to fucking go
It's
listen
the
to Russia.
Democrats that you need to be looking at.
No. They're both the same party. It's the same system. Same bird going in the same direction.
Really?
Believe again? Yes, it is, bro. One left wing is the left wing, like they say, the left physical wing is the Democrat, the right wing is a Republican. The same bird got to keep flying. And the objective is capitalism and conquest. So while we're thinking we're choosing Democrats or Republicans, we're not really free because we think we're choosing. And when you realize you're not really choosing, you then decide, how do I as an individual free myself from this shit show?
How do I free myself from you?
Well, you know what? I don't know if it's a rhetorical question. Somebody asked me, how do you do this? I'm about to ask them how. You have to have economic empowerment of empowering yourself first. Understanding that you, as an individual, should be very aware that whatever people are telling you, even if you try to verify it, there's truth in everything. But how it affects your individual life. I'm not telling you how to vote, and I'm not telling you how to think. Economic empowerment comes from going to school to learn for yourself. I went to college and I got curriculum and I graduated and I didn't know shit. A guy with a high school diploma said, how the fuck you go to school, graduate, and you don't know shit? I went back to college and I decided to pick classes that I was interested in. 30 years later, those same classes showed up in my life. because I had discernment of saying, I need to solve these issues in my life. So even though I'm taking whatever the hell course I'm taking, while you're in those environments, you're in an institution of learning, go and take subject matters that impact your life.
You mean you read books? Oh my God, I've read books too. But that doesn't make me a genius.
No, listen to what I'm saying to you. Discernment is you go to school and most people stick to the curriculum and they leave because you're being trained for a job. But when you go to school and you look to solve your personal problems, you're in there for your mindset is different. Because you're now going into that business program to be a musician, and even though you're in general business, you're focusing and specializing in everything that affects your music career or engineering or medical. I'm simply saying when you're in your institution of learning, be selective and intentional with what you put in your mind, because you can control what you put in your mind. You can control what you put in your mouth, which is the food you eat, the thoughts you think. So as you're putting in yourself, understanding that everything that they give to you has some truth in it. So you go to school and
Architect, I got a question. Like, I know where you at. I've studied. There's only so much of the evil you can study, right? Like how productive. Let's say, for instance, we could boil down to the automotive industry. At a certain point, they started making cars so they'll break down, so you have to buy a new. So what do? You just study the conspiracy, or you learn how to fix your fucking car. Like at what point you can become pragmatic and fucking deal with the situation you're in. It stops. If I study the evil, I could study the evil all day. But how is that gonna help me? Is they gonna teach me how to grow food without pesticides and whatnot? Like at what point do we stop studying the devil and start studying things?
So then this is it. The freeing the mind is understanding that they give you a system that works to a point, but it doesn't work to your benefit. And when you understand your limitations and what you can't do, you find someone that could do what you can do. You may have a skill set that I don't have. I live in a world right now with a bunch of professionals that I don't pay for anything. I don't pay for legal advice because I have a lawyer, very good friend of mine, that says, I don't want your money. You add so much value to my life that if you have legal problems, call me. I live in a world that if that guy has a business issue, he calls me because that's my skill set. Now I have a lawyer in my life. I have an accountant in my life. I do business. I could show anyone how to get a company from startup to IPO. You find people with the missing pieces that you don't have and have them pour into you and you pour into them. Now, when it becomes transactional and when you have to pay a person is when you understand that they're doing something for you physically, like, okay, I'm going to have to go to court to represent you. But up until that point, I talk to you for free and give you guidance. If you could go to that courthouse and fill out your documents on your own, then you don't need me and I'm coming on the third visit and save you $1,500. That is intentional living. That is barterism. That is understanding that you have to have a community of people that could pour into you. And where you're lacking, you find someone that has skill sets that you don't. And you either pay for services or you pay for time. But you can only, in this world of earning, you have to either pay with your time, pay with your money, or pay with your attention to learn it on your own, to master that skill set. Once you understand that, then you can understand that your degree is good to a point, but it doesn't get you knowledge, understanding, or skills. Skills come from the ability to work through something in architecture. You're going for a riff, man. You gotta go ahead. Brevity is key. Brevity is other. So tied up.
Hey, hold on real quick. Hey, can we hear the other end from the brother that basically told us? We heard from architects, and he actually gave you to that point. Now can we hear from whoever has posed that and see what solutions we have to make better our lives? So it's fair.
Well, the room is actually about Kamala Harris. We don't want to get too far from that because that's what people are coming in the room for, and that's what we want to hear your opinion on. So we kind of went off the subject, but I mean, whatever. He wants to run away, then he can start his own.
Yeah, I want to talk about Kamala.
What's up, Trump? Let's go, Trump. What you gonna do for us? 24.
Well, I'll address Kamala. I won't talk about. Well, I mean, the other speaker was saying good things. What's his name? The architect build. I mean, if he wants to finish with his 4 points or whatever before we go back to the topic, go ahead.
Let me finish. Oh, you can't be nice. That's not what I want to hear. Donald Trump proposed service taxes to be eliminated. What does that do for the average citizen that has a job or a business that they work in service tax? He's going to eliminate service tax and income tax. What would that do for you? Most people that make up, say you got $1 as a salary, and your income tax is 20 to 30% average across the country. You automatically have a 30% increase in your salary where you can now go outside and change your life. If you continue to live on the 70% of your money and the 30% that does come in as juice, that extra 33 cents, $30 or $300. You could then decide to pay down some bills if you could have never gotten around to before. If you're a business and you're in the service business and you're a barbershop owner and you have to pay your 30% tax at the end of the year, or your service tax of 8% in New York City, you just got an extra 8% return on your money, where you can now pay down a credit card bill or buy some new clippers. What that 8% does to you, or that 30% of the salary income, is tremendous. So when you're speaking about like Kamala or Trump, and you're speaking about policy and your interest, again, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm talking about economics. If that 30% is more impactful in your pocket, then you vote for Trump. If that the Democratic Party agenda is more attractive to you, then you go with the same. But I'll say this to you all the time. If you vote your economic interest, at some point, you'll be independent enough to change your life. I'll pause right there.
Anybody want to speak on the topic? Camilla Harrison. We are with next president.
Well, look, from my point of view,
next president.
look, from my point of view, from what I've observed, from what I see what Trump's policies are going to be, it is going to be counterproductive for any possibility of growth for the regular man. For anybody that's truly fucking watching this shit is being realistic. Kamala, no, it's not the best shit. You could blame Kamala on Trump too. You could blame her on the fact that he's been fucking our shit up. You know, we need to just get past this fucking shit that this dude is trying to pull off. Like, we're in a major fucking, this shit could go fucking south, bro. What Trump is doing is what happened in my daddy's country in Nicaragua. Daniel Ortega, he's the president, came in democratically elected, changed the fucking constitution to where he could run forever. Matter of fact, his fucking wife is the vice president right now. And he kills the media, anybody that tries to talk shit about him. That's what the fuck Trump is trying to do. And I don't get why people don't understand that.
The media controls the system. As you referenced, Donald Trump controls the media. If he did, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party controls the media.
Brother, what is the media controlled by?
The media is controlled by companies and corporations, but I'm showing you something here.
Yeah.
You go to CNN to hear Democrats, you go to Fox News to hear the Fox News people. And I'm saying to you, neither of them are telling you the truth. They're both lying to you. Hey, let him finish on that. He didn't interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yeah, but like, I'm not an idiot, bro. Like, you tell me basic shit. What I'm trying to tell you is, yes, CNN and Fox are in cahoots. But you know what they want? They want the Republicans that ain't gonna tax their ass. That's the fucking.
The tax I mentioned, service tax, is for the working people, and income taxes for the people that have jobs.
That fucking, I know what you're talking. You're talking about waiters and fucking, bartenders and shit. Trust me, I know. I live in New Orleans. You know who came up with that tax? George Bush, motherfucker, a Republican. This dude is fucking lying. He's full of shit. He's doing that to get stupid ass votes. You understand his agenda? He's trying to become a fucking dictator, right? He said it straight up. Like, it's no fucking joke. Like, people think it's a fucking game. It's real.
He said a dictator for one day. Why do y'all do that?
Dictator for one day, my ass.
Well, that's what he said. I mean, I know what it had to do with your ass.
Every time he opens his mouth, he's fucking lying. So he's honest you.
And you know that how? Because the news told you? Or how do you know that? Do you know him personally?
Because I'm smart enough to fucking see what he says and watch what he does.
Well, you're not saying very smart things right now, so.
You're saying that because, you obviously like Trump.
No, I don't obviously like Trump. I just hate that, y'all, it's almost like you're brainwashed. Did you get the vaccine?
What is this? What does that have to do with the president?
Because you are parroting talking points from the news. He clearly said a dictator for one day. Y'all making it seem like he said, I'm going to be a dictator for a lifetime. And that's not what he said. And is that not what the Democrats are doing when they're passing the seat from one candidate to the next? Well, what are they doing? What do you call that?
What you're calling people Democrats, or not Democrats, you're talking about people that actually read books and know what's going on.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Thank you. I'll leave. Thank you.
Hey, yo, hold on for a second. I got Chris. Can you bring I up? I'm trying to bring him up. I am Gino, Chris. Appreciate it. Yeah, but go ahead. All right, thank you. Everybody, can y'all invite some people over? Appreciate it. Everybody in the group.
Hey, thanks for that, Mikey B. Thank you, Gino and Chris. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, salute. All right, go ahead, do your thing. Keys in the air. Who got the keys?
I just think, like, the sisters...
matter of fact, I'm sorry. Matter of fact, hold on. I apologize for cutting you off. But yeah, I just changed the topic up a little bit. Crypto investor backing up Trump and, Kamala Harris, next president. So, yeah, I am just changing it up.
Oh, yeah, no problem. I don't really foresee Kamala being the next president. She's not really particularly a strong candidate. If we remember in 2020, she had to drop out of the race because she didn't get any votes, any delegates, and they installed her just like the sister Erica was just saying. They installed her very undemocratically, and it makes me laugh when people on the left or like the other bro was just saying Trump is going to be a dictator and all that, but you can look and see that the Democrats are actively usurping our democracy right now. The only reason Kamala Harris is the nominee is because they have usurped our democracy. So I don't know where this fear-mongering stuff be coming from. If you operate correctly, like everybody should be operating as a business, then no matter who the president is, you're going to be okay. Last thing I'll say is we are moving into a digital society, and I'm not hearing much about that coming from the left. No matter who you like, I'm not hearing much about that coming from the left. But I do hear a lot of people on the right, like James Diamond, who's the CEO of J.P. Morgan. Trump was talking about making him the chairman of the Federal Reserve or the Secretary of the Treasury. So I know Trump is really leaning into crypto. I don't hear the left doing that much, and I think that's extremely dangerous too, because we are moving into a digital world. That's just what it is.
So I think we just got to step back and really just like see, because when it comes to geopolitics, that shit can change at the drop of a dime. You know what I mean? In 3 months, then they put this person up in here to run for the next 3 months. These people are desperate, they thirsty, and this is their last stand to control. So anything can come out of their hat to disrupt the election. Me personally, this is just my opinion. I feel like it's going to be an event that cancels or suspend the election. If they don't get to that man and kill him, because I believe they're going to still try to kill him. If they don't been to kill that man, they're going to try to create an event to suspend the election so they can stay up in there. Because if we go to war, or if there's some type of violent earthquake, because see, they can create the earthquake and then blame it on Mother Nature. They can detonate something. They can create another 9/11 and blame it on Russia or China. It's real easy to distract these so-called crazy-ass Americans, because every day is something new.
Listen,
the
only crazy-ass Americans are Democrats. That's the truth. It's not Republicans. It's Democrats that will implode your country. I know. People like to keep saying they're two wings of the same bird.
I want to finish talking. Slow down. Calm down. You just came off the mic. That's my point right there.
You have no point, sir. I'll be polite. I'll be polite. And when you're finished, I'll rebuttal.
Calm down, man. You made my point. Calm down. Go to the podium with that shit. Have you spoke that shit in your community? To your constituents?
I'm done talking with you. Moderators, when he's finished, put me in the queue.
You need to talk to your constituents about that shit.
I don't have constituents. I'm here on a social audio chat app, sir.
Sitting here talking Democrat, Republican, so fuck all
Yeah,
All
you
this
don't
shit
you
is
don't like to
illusion.
talk about the topic or politics?
All
Go
that
ahead.
is illusions. I wasn't finished saying what I was saying. That's why I started speaking to you. So anyway, sir. Yeah, all I'm saying, sir, is all that shit is an illusion. To make you feel like you have to say so.
You're an illusion.
So no more than the next man.
You're an illusion yourself.
So the point is, we need to get our family house. We need to get our family and our business affairs in order. Because what they gonna do is what they gonna do. That's the inevitable. You can't change shit. You have no power. You can create the little fake ass hero, and you think so. Trump ain't your Jesus. Trump is a wing of the same bird. Him and Hillary, two different wings of the same bird. Something wrong with you people. Always looking for a savior. Or somebody to save you from your circumstance.
Nobody's looking for saviors. This is called politics,
Hey,
sir.
listen, hey, buddy, hey, you triggered.
Yo, Trump, hold on for a second. Like, go ahead.
You must think he is that PTI. Better calm your ass down. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna pass the mic, Mikey P.
Yeah. So go ahead, Trump.
Yeah, nobody's looking for a savior, and people who keep saying that they're two wings of the same bird or want, different feathers flock to, it doesn't make a difference. The point is Kamala Harris is a Trojan horse candidate. She was chosen from the very beginning because she's black enough. She's Barack Hussein Obama with a pussy. She's gonna engage in World War III. She's gonna make your economic environment and your supposed business, how you want to get your business in order. She's gonna make it worse for you. She's gonna increase tax compliance regulation. She's gonna increase the interest rate through the Federal Reserve. She will do whatever her environment tells her to do, and that is not a leader. That is a lemming. That's a lemon. That's somebody who's going to walk you off a cliff, and you're too all blind to see it. And you think Donald Trump is evil because he's the white man. Well, let me tell you the truth. He's an American, and so are you. And if you think Kamala is the best decision for you, you must not have a job. You must not even know what management does, because she's going to be the worst manager, the worst executive you've ever had to work under, and that's a fact. And she's going to ruin this country, and she's going to ruin you. And if you don't vote Trump, you ain't black.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, but dude, I think they're like two satanic factions fighting each other at this point. Like, I think they are both all fucking crazy as hell, but they really have it out for each other. It's all these fucking rich bastards.
You got vampires against
Just
werewolves.
fighting these. Yeah, right. That's what the fuck it is, man. Yeah, but I mean, anyone with a brain. I mean, and that's not to insult anyone here with Kamala Harris, but if this all was real, just say we all believed in elections the way they give it to us, right? And you listen to Trump, you listen to Kamala, and you're worried about your country in terms of where it's going to go. You're not going to vote for her. She doesn't have any of the qualities that would actually help. She didn't really do anything in her whole career. She fucked a lot of people over as a prosecutor. If you look at we have to get on the level of people that don't have that conscious. Yeah, go ahead. That don't have that. Yeah, sorry. Just the people that don't have that level of discernment at this point in the game. It's we have to talk to them. Fact of the matter, because these people do have positions of power and they do have some influence. Now, does it really affect you in your daily? What you do is obviously going to be the differentiator. But these people do pass shit every day, and they're trying to freaking make this country a communist country. That's what I've been saying the whole time. Everyone says, no, this is not happening, but now we see the left wing, they actually want everybody to just give up all their money. Oh, the rich people have too much money and everyone should have everything for free. And this is not the way that you sustain a free market, right? And capitalism is not perfect. We had a whole talk about this today, but it is the best model we know so far. And yeah, people have went absolutely shit crazy with it, but it still gives you the opportunity to have a free market and to actually enter the market. But that's getting limited and squeeze even more. And people like Kamala and these left people, they are totally on board with the Davos and the taking all your shit. and they're going to have shit, but they're even more ravenous than the Republican side, who's going to at least show that they care more about what, you know, it stands for. What is conservatism? Is not changing shit so much, not passing all these laws all the time. So even if they're both fucking crazy bastards and evil, you'd rather have the one that is probably going to destroy the world a little bit slower. That's fine. That's like, you know, you best of both, you know, take the best of both evils, right?
So we got people that just pulled up on the stage. Anybody want to chime in? That haven't chimed in? Anybody know about the crypto investors backing Trump?
I don't know who they are, but they're trying to make it the next currency, and that's for sure.
I can find out who they are so I can capitalize now.
Can anybody play the clip? Capitalize it by investing your money in crypto.
Can anybody play the clip? Is anybody available? Y'all hear me?
Yeah, hold on, I'll play. Give me 1 second. I'll pull up one.
Oh, appreciate it. Thank you. But while he's doing that, everybody, can y'all please, can we get some invite? Can we get some invite some people over? Appreciate it. Grand rising to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you have a powerful day. Do not have an upset day. Make sure you have a powerful day. All right, so please invite people over. Appreciate y'all pulling up. And also the people that have a ticket, hand the ticket over. Okay. I'm a pack member. Salute.
All right, I got you right here, Mikey.
Donald Trump affirming he will speak as scheduled at a Bitcoin conference coming up later this month. That's after an assassination attempt over the weekend. The former president's support of cryptocurrency is relatively new. Trump was previously deemed it a scam when he was in the White House, but now the 2024 hopefully is singing a very different tune thanks to the efforts of crypto industry insiders. And joining me now is David Bailey, BTC Inc. CEO and organizer of the Bitcoin conference. David, it is good to have you back on the show. So Trump's going to be participating in the Bitcoin conference, David. That's July 27th. How did that come about, David?
Well, first off, Josh, thank you for having me back on the show. And yeah, we're thrilled to have the president speaking in what is going to be a historic speech on Bitcoin policy and his agenda as of the new administration. We've been working with the Trump campaign for several months, advising them on different policy platform items that our industry cares about, our community cares about, and really helping lay the case for the amount of votes and the amount of dollars that our industry can deliver for the campaign. So we've been very thankful for their support. Donald Trump is a businessman first and foremost, and he sees a good opportunity. And Bitcoin is the greatest opportunity for this country. So we're very thankful to be partnered with him.
And David, we know Trump wasn't always a fan of crypto. What changed there, David? Is it what you suggested there? Is it just, does it come down to dollars and votes?
Yeah, I mean, I think for most people, they don't start as a fan of Bitcoin. Most people, when they hear about Bitcoin, they think it's a scam. That's how I got started in Bitcoin. That's how Michael Saylor got started in Bitcoin. In fact, Michael Saylor's first tweet on the topic is, once the government figures this out, they're going to shut this down. So I think, the biggest advocates of Bitcoin start as the biggest skeptics, and then, they go through a journey where they come to understand the technology better. They come to interact with it more, and eventually what seems like a scam at first eventually kind of hits home as fundamentally innovation that's transformative.
And David, I know you're a fan of Trump. And from what I've read, you're going to be hosting a fundraiser for him in Nashville. Any concern, though, David, that, we're sitting here in July and Trump and Vance don't win in November, that Biden does? Any worries you would have that, maybe you put all your eggs here in one political basket?
Well, we are running a fundraiser for the president in Nashville. We want it to be a record-breaking fundraiser, so we're working around the clock. I've been on phone calls all day for about 2 weeks straight, raising money for the president. So we are eager to show him what our industry is able to deliver and show him how much we care about this topic. Our industry considers ourselves single-issue voters, meaning that your policy on Bitcoin is what's going to determine how we show it to the ballot box. Your question about are we worried about putting all of our eggs in one basket? The way the Biden administration has treated the Bitcoin and crypto community has been horrendous.
And what do you mean by that, David, when you say horrendous?
They have had the SEC give awful guidance, jail or prosecute legitimate businessmen and entrepreneurs that are trying to build great technology businesses in the United States. They've suggested tax regimes for our industry that, if implemented, would devastate the American Bitcoin industry. They've targeted Bitcoin miners, claiming that they are fundamentally dangerous to the environment, when in fact Bitcoin miners are investing billions of dollars into America's infrastructure and energy infrastructure. The list goes on. The president actually just vetoed a bill that would have given U.S. financial institutions the ability to custody digital assets on their balance sheet. And so, he's holding back our industry in the United States, and he's giving other nations a massive competitive advantage over the states. So,
just to play devil's advocate, could someone counter? And give me your take on this. But at the end of the day, spot Bitcoin ETFs got the green light. Reportedly, you probably saw this, David. Spot Ether ETFs are on the way. What do you say to that?
We had to sue the SEC and do a multi-year fight against the SEC to get there. The spot ETFs should have been approved 5 years ago. So, if there's one thing I would say I wish Trump had done differently in his last administration, he should have approved the spot ETFs. And so it's been a nonstop fistfight with the Biden administration. And so, frankly, at this point, we feel like we don't have much to lose. And what we hope is that by showing up for the Trump administration, and let me be clear, Bitcoin is bipartisan. Bitcoin is a technology, it's a tool. It does not have a political leaning or a prescribed political faction. But if you're going to come after our industry, then our industry is going to defend itself. And so what we hope is that by showing up big for President Trump, by helping him win the White House, we're going to send a message to the Democratic Party that they're on the wrong side of this issue, and that it would be much more productive for them to work with our industry rather than to banish our industry. There are over 50 million Americans that own Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. That is a massive voter block. And there used to be an old political adage that people vote their pocketbook. Bitcoin is people's pocketbooks today. So the Democratic Party is misaligned with the public, and we're hoping that by making ourselves heard in this election, we'll make ourselves heard in all the future elections as well.
It is impressive, David, the way crypto has become an issue in this campaign, in this election. We always appreciate you coming on the show, David. Thanks so much.
That was it.
Can I add something here?
Thank you. I appreciate it for playing that.
So if you go on the Agenda 47 and read through Trump's policy, he literally calls it out, and he says he will make sure that nobody touches Bitcoin when he's president. On the other side, it's very simple, right? Kamala and Biden and the Democrats are trying to support implementing the centralized digital currency, which is poison for Bitcoin, and ban any other independent digital currency. That on itself should tell you everything, that if Trump gets elected, Bitcoin will skyrocket. So know that.
That's not true. Bitcoin has already skyrocketed. It's at 63,000, 65,000.
Believe it. Mark my words, because it is literally called out. A official campaign and a cabinet will not officially and very explicitly list it out in their policy platform if they would implement it, because they know their donors and everybody that is voting for him because of this will hold him accountable. So, they're not going to just wishy-washy call it out. Plus, they do want to have alternatives for currency, and they're against decentralized digital currency as opposed to the Democrats.
That's true. But the fact of the matter is, I think that Bitcoin is actually CIA coin because I saw an interview with a software developer who said,
"Shut up, Edmund, you're trolling again."
I'm not trolling, bitch. Shut your mouth. I'm telling you, I saw a CIA employee say that he was contacted by the CIA to help develop a cryptological currency. And that's what Bitcoin is. It was developed by your government, not some imaginary Japanese red dragon named Satoshi. So if you fools want to keep believing the lies that even you spew because you're repeating boxes and you actually don't know that much, the fact is there's a backdoor for Bitcoin. There's millions of Bitcoins, which is hundreds of billions, if not even trillions of dollars that your government, your secret society agency known as Central Intelligence are secretly in control of. And they use Bitcoin to do money laundering, but most importantly, to do international regime change operations in a non-trackable way. Oh no, there's this ledger. Oh really? The point is, go to the Enigma machine from World War II. That's the first example of cryptology. And what the scientists discovered is that your US dollar printed by the Federal Reserve is also a form of cryptology because there's barcode, there's a serial number on every dollar. You're already being tracked through Treasury, through all the banks, through everything is already digitized. They don't want competition to their already digitized US dollar. And it's very hard to know what is up and what is down or what is black and what is white because everything is communication hypnosis. Anyways, vote Trump, free America, go to the gym, fatties.
So you guys know, this guy trolls all the time, so I never...
Angela, shut the fuck up. You're an Afghani whore that lives in Newport Beach, you stupid bitch. You're a dumb bitch.
I'm sitting here listening to you. I'm agreeing with some of the things you're saying about Kamala Harris. But one thing I don't agree with, you call her a bitch. If you disagree with her, to agree with her or disagree with her, just disagree. Don't call her no bitch. Don't call her no hoe. Because that's like you calling every woman up here on that stage the same thing if we said something that you didn't agree with.
Anyways, I thought this was a serious room, but clearly Malta have also some bullshit here. So.
Okay, just do whatever Angela tells you to do. Just do it. Like, I give a fuck.
We need to realize that Bitcoin isn't the only cryptocurrency. It will probably be the least effective cryptocurrency because cryptocurrency the value of it is based on market cap, and it's too much Bitcoin out here. But what we need to do is, look, they're not going to be able to ban crypto. There's too many wealthy people, the people that donate to these parties that are already in the crypto, that already have their money digital, and they're not going to, outlaw, ban their money. But we really do need to be looking at other cryptocurrencies. I like, my personal opinion, I like the Kitover ledger because that controls everything that we're talking about going into. We can look at the tokens and the cryptos that are associated with those. But no matter who it is, I think Trump wants to keep crypto where it is, but it is true that I should say the deep state, not just the Democrats, but the deep state, they want to make crypto as regulated as possible because they do have a central bank digital currency coming, and people do need to be aware of that and look those terms up. If you don't know what they mean, look them up and look up what they mean, because it is really imperative.
Well, Bitcoin isn't a cryptocurrency at all, actually. It's a digital asset. So it's basically like digital gold. And they're never gonna make any more than 21 million of them. So, and it can't be regulated basically outside of taxation. It can't be controlled. They can't create more of it. They'll never be able to create more of it. After the 21 million is mined, and the price is probably going to go through the roof based on all the analysis I'm looking at. I've been investing since it was 10K, and now it's almost 70K. So, and it's went down and up since then, but the idea is it's like any asset you hold for a very long time. And you're probably going to see it go up actually because it can't be replicated, it can't be toyed with the same way the dollar can. So what we're seeing now is the dollar is actually the worst possible scenario to keep in place. Not saying a CBDC would be better, but the way that the system is now is they can just infinitely print the dollar and devalue the currency. So if you have $100,000 in the bank since last year, you actually lost money. You didn't earn money because of the banks are actually going negative interest rates in some places. And even if they don't, they're only giving you very, very little on your money. So you could make like $100 on $100,000 in a regular savings account, which is absolutely nothing, right? But if you can learn how to invest, the thing is they want us to stay into their structures because most people don't know about financial literacy and how to get themselves out of the situation and use the money to make more money. But they tell us to save our money, and by saving it alone, it doesn't add up unless you're saving and investing the money. You're not going to grow the money because no one's giving you a return on the money. And we're in a situation now that we see that there is a chance to have something like Bitcoin, which I can send Bitcoin right now to China. I mean, but anywhere in the world, peer-to-peer without having to pay a bank for that transaction. It can go from my wallet to someone's wallet and back and forth, and nobody, I will
That just nailed that.
They all know that this is what's happening. So for me, I think it's going to be the champion because it's not a cryptocurrency. You can make a lot of money on all these other cryptocurrencies, but Bitcoin is basically like having gold on a computer and storing it. I mean, you can take it offline too. You can have a cold wallet and have it in your hand, but people say, well, it's all on the computer because they're supposed to be storing it in a cold wallet where somebody can steal it or it's vulnerable and you can't take it out. So if I go anywhere in the world, say this shit hits the fan, right, and then all the financial system collapses, and all you have is your USB with Bitcoin, you can go anywhere in the world, find a situation to extract. Someone's going to want that Bitcoin just like they're going to want your gold, okay? Because somewhere there's going to be power because we can't live without electricity. Power won't be offered even if the power goes out. We cannot live without electricity. So unless everyone dies, then Bitcoin's going to go away. But until that point in time, you're seeing, like someone was saying earlier, there's billions of dollars in that recording. I was saying billions of dollars of people, Americans, are investing in the infrastructure keep it, the electricity or whatever, to keep it going in their green way because they know, and all these green people own Bitcoin too. They know that this is where it's going, that it's obviously going to lead to more of a treacherous place eventually. You can't change it. You can't change the way that the dollar is necessarily, right? So might as well profit off the change if you're ahead of the game. If we know they're going to switch to a digital system, we might as well get the coins that they're cherishing the most. All these rich people.
But it's already a digital system. Bitcoin is a competition to Federal Reserve. We say Bitcoin is I don't believe Bitcoin is a competition to the Federal Reserve. I think they're one in the same system. And the fact is, this is an empire. And the only way for this empire to collapse is for Washington, D.C. or New York City to be completely invaded by outside forces. Most likely that will never, ever happen. Therefore, your dream of going into the world of a destroyed America to use your Bitcoin to stay alive is just a dream. It's never going to happen. Not in this lifetime, and probably not for generations to come, because empire state is now. This country is the biggest empire on the planet. It can take out any country on the planet that it wants. It has the military technology and the people who are capable of doing that. This is a war-footed country because of George Bush and 9/11. There's a lot of veterans that know how to fight to the death and use these weapon systems to continue this Fugazi government and this Fugazi empire. So I don't think that there's a salvation. The reality is now, meaning that Kamala Harris is the threat to democracy. She goes on YouTube raising $10 saying we have to fight Donald Trump to save our democracy. She's the threat to democracy. She's the Trojan horse that we have to be afraid of. She's not even black. She's the descendant of a slave owner. She doesn't even have children. She's married to a Jewish man who has an open marriage with another woman and 2 children that she claims are hers. She's fake. She's a liar. Everything she puts out is a hypnosis communication.
Well, I think a lot of y'all ain't looking at Bitcoin was started by 13 families. It's not a B, it's a 13. If you put that 3 with that 1, you got your Bitcoin. Same people started Pi. Pi been on its way, it's on its way to the blockchain by next year, but Pi been in existence for like 10 years or longer. And it's free. People are already using it in the third world countries. It's called a people's coin. All you do is download it to your phone, let them mine through your phone. People are like, oh, they might be tracking me. Well, hell, you being tracked anyway. But this is the new people's coin. It's called Pi, P-I. And you can put it on your phone, and they mine off your phone, and you gather your coins like that. But the 13 families that started Bitcoin and their children is the same ones who started Pi. And they've been starting, they've been mining for about the last 10 years. So y'all need to look at that. And it's not just Bitcoin. Bitcoin may not last.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bitcoin is going to be the bottom of the totem pole with all these, right? So a couple things we have to realize is, number one, these things, nobody knows the value of these coins. Nobody knows what it's going to be, because the only reason we have a value on them, how we do right now, and look at them in the USD aspect, is because USD is the world reserve currency. But as we see, that's going away as well, right? So after the USD is no longer the world reserve currency, and we have what's called decoupling, the values of these things are like, I'm telling you, we can't even fathom what the value of these things are going to be. But again, there's too much Bitcoin. Everything's going to be based on market cap. If you go to something like, you can go to Crypto Slate, right? CryptoSlate.com, and you can just look at the coins on there. And you can see that there are so many other coins, there are so many tokens that actually have a utility. And that means a real world use, right? So like there is coins, and right now, I don't want to be all fragmented all over this, but right now, another thing that you can look up is tokenization. Right now, we're going through tokenization, meaning people are taking their real world assets and storing the value of those assets onto the blockchain. The way you do that is through a token, right? So you have tokens that are for things whose value is going to be astronomical, because it's not going to be that many of them. So that's why I mentioned again the quant overledger and the tokens and the coins that are on the quant overledger, right? That would be in my opinion, that's the best thing to look at. I can't give anybody financial advice, but that's what I would say. And then the last thing I'll say is the reason that Bitcoin, there is going to be a CBDC. It's coming. It's going to be backed by rare earth minerals and lithium, which the United States all of a sudden has found to have the largest repositories in the world. So just like our money was backed by gold, this stuff is going to be backed, or our central bank digital currency, which is coming from the Treasury, not from the Federal Reserve, is going to be backed by the rare earth minerals we just found and the lithium we just found.
Yeah, but how do you tie the back end to those rare earth minerals? I don't see how that's possible.
remind them either.
I'm saying that this country is 35 trillion in debt, going to 40 trillion, going to 50 trillion under Kamala. That's the scam. It's not about digital currencies. These are minutia details. The real truth is this country is going to go to $40 trillion in debt, and that will be an unpayable debt. And you will see this republic unravel into a tyranny, into a fascist dictatorship, whether it's Democrat or Republican. The country is headed for essentially fascism, and everybody hates fascism, but that's where this is all going. And if you've ever actually imploded yourself financially, you have to right the ship. The country is imploding real time. The Federal Reserve, during the first tranche of $1 trillion known as the HEROES Act during the COVID-19 scamdemic, aka Pfizer and Dr. Fauci's scam to get you vaccinated so you can't have children, to depopulate this country because the elites want less of you and more of the outside world in this country. This is a controlled bubble. It's no longer a republic. You're not free. Every day, every hour, the Democrats are working to enslave you, to kill you, to murder you. And that's the facts. I mean, they tried to kill Trump. And when I say they, I mean Joe Biden and Kamala Harris tried to execute Donald Trump with an LGBTQ sharpshooter who can't even pick his toes. These people don't even know how to do political assassinations. That's how incompetent they are. And now you want them to run your government? They can't even kill or shoot straight.
Well, the reason is I halfway agree with you when you say this country is going to be fascist and stuff. Yes, it is. If you don't operate properly. And right now, being able to get these cryptos, first of all, not investing, because I don't believe anybody in here can invest in crypto, because it's an unregulated security. And if you're not an accredited investor or above, you can't do that. So you can purchase crypto. So right now, purchasing these cryptos while you can still get in on some of the market cap and while it's still low before we have decoupling will allow you to, among other things, you have to operate correctly. And you should set up your own banking system. But if you just get these cryptos, that will save you from having to use a CBDC. That will allow you to operate outside of that fascist system that they're trying to put in. But you are right. We won't ever be able to pay this debt back, and that's why we're going to go to crypto. So if you guys want to look some stuff up, right, and see that it's not like this is like we got the wrong idea. We think it's about war and like America's not giving this stuff up, but all these countries are working together, right? So if you go to number one, the BIS, right? You go right to their website, the Bank for International Settlements. This is the ultimate central bank. Every country that has a central bank, those central banks report to the Bank of International Settlements. And you can go right on the Bank of International Settlements and go and look at their projects, right? When you see their projects like Project Leap, where they're trying to make it so that all cross-border payment systems link up together, you can see that the central banks that are on their project, and it's the BRICS, all the countries in the BRICS, it's the United States, all these countries are working together. The 2030 agenda, which has been said at Davos, which somebody mentioned earlier, which was mentioned first by Barack Obama when he said we're going to a 2030 agenda. This stuff is right on the website. You can go to the World Economic Forum, the WEF. You can go to their website.
World Bank too.
The World Bank as well. And you can see they say that by 2030, they don't want a central power, but they want something that's more like a one world government. I don't want to get into conspiracy theories. That's why I say you can go right there and look on their website and see this is what they're saying.
The World Bank is in DC, and if you look to see who's funding the Ukraine war and giving them all the money and weapons, it's the World Bank. Who the fuck is the World Bank? It's a conglomeration of the world's largest banking empires Just go down your street right now and go to JP Morgan Chase, go to Bank of America, go to Wells Fargo, and ask yourself, how many banks and retail banks do we really need? What do they really do for the community? It's a fucking accounting system. It's a paper storage warehouse. They contribute nothing and they're immortal. They never die. They don't do anything. They don't grow food. They don't house food products. They don't build houses. It's basically an accounting tracking system. That's the system we live in. It's all fugazi. It's all an illusion. Inflation is real, and they're eroding your dollar every single year by about 5%. So if you have $100,000 in just 10 years, your purchasing power is like you'll be able to buy zero. They're degrading the currency, and they are going to usher in a CBDC because the accounting system is so fucked up. They're going to replace it and say, okay, everything in the past is the past. This is the new, and you're all going to love it because the system is broken. They have to create a new false illusion. The new false illusion is CBDC, and that's just another way for JP Morgan Chase to trade it and make more money off the trades. It's all a scam, and it is all denominated in USD. The stock market, Bitcoin, it's all in dollars. You can't get out of this system no matter how hard you try. If you want to buy a house, if you want to get a loan to get a car, you're fucked. And it's all an illusion. If you really want to set yourself free, you have to essentially become spiritual or philosophical or even political. If you want to rise to power and survive in this corrupt system, you have to free yourself through words. Words are still the real tokens. It's the logos. That's the truth. And all these liars that come on YouTube and tell you every day we have to save democracy, they are the terrorists that you are afraid of. Your own government is the terrorist state, and it's Kamala Harris. She will lead the world's largest terrorist organization in the history of mankind. They will not stop until either you're dead or, the country's dead. They want to destroy the history and the fabric and the society and the culture. And they're doing it every single day.
What they're doing is destroying themselves. So like Chris said earlier, this is evil against evil. Even your so-called Bible speaks about when Satan started to cast out Satan, how long should a kingdom last or stand? Quote, I don't want to, either way. So, to be honest, this ain't got shit to do with us. What we need to be focused on is our households and getting our business affairs in order, separating ourselves from the system, because you might be totally dependent upon it. So that's why you feel how you feel. That's not everybody's reality, sir. That's not everybody.
No, I mean, it's like Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror. Clean your house and you'll clean America. That's all I'm saying. I agree with you.
Okay. I appreciate that. But what I'm saying is, at this point, we need to stop putting responsibility in the hands of some drunken fools, in the hands of people I wouldn't even trust with a book of matches, and take back our own responsibility as the people. And see, from Trump, the power was passed to the people. That's the key, putting power back in the hands of the people. You know what I mean? And we have to start, and see, the first thing is first, fear. Fear is their greatest weapon. That's the key. No missile, no gun, fear. Because see, fear can paralyze a person. Fear can stop a person from speaking the truth or asking questions. Fear can make the people get in the goose step. So I believe that's the biggest thing. We got to start being fearless and start standing up, you know what I mean? And taking control of our lives, period. Because right now, people are they're benefited. They're getting some type of benefit from this corrupt so-called government, because it's not a government, it's a corporation. The government is for the people, by the people, of the people. And the people ain't been running this shit for a long time. To be honest, we've been at martial law since the 1930s. They just ain't told us. When the corporation went bankrupt, when Franklin Delano Roosevelt, as far as stripped the people of their gold and created the Limited Liability Act, the War Powers Act, the Banking Act of 1871. That's why they call Trump the last president, because right before he got out of office, the contract, the Banking Act of 1771 expired. So we watching, and what we about to witness is the fall. We're witnessing the fall of this Babylonian empire, or this Roman empire. So really now we put in a position to be self-governors, self-made. We need to really start to listen, because I'm gonna land with this. If you a man and you have created a family and a life for yourself, you should have your family in order, to the point where when you come out into the community, you're able to link up with other families that got their life in order and got their affairs in order. Because you have to be healthy to think. That's first. You got to be healthy to be a thinker.
You need books.
You know, but before you need books, you need to be able to understand what you're reading, sir.
I know, but books are external hard drives. Books are external hard drives. People aren't reading. The population is not reading. Adults are not reading books. They're looking at screens. That's not reading. That's not using critical faculties or parts of your brain. People are living in a mass hypnosis.
And that's the key. We speak about people being under that spell. But I believe these series of events, and once we go into 2025, because people don't understand 2024 wasn't nothing. Once we going into a state where a lot of secrets is going to be revealed, a lot of things is going to be exposed. And either people going to snap out of that spell, or you going to stay stuck in the reality, that's dead.
Man, for me, I don't like to get into biblical prophecy enough, and I like to stay focused on what people can really do. Right now, I don't think there's no getting out of the system. This system is a global system that has been here before we was here, before our parents was here, before our parents' parents was here, and this system, whoever the programmer is of this matrix that we in, is going to keep the system the same way. It's just changing. That's all. And to save yourself and be free is 4 pillars in this country. You need to move through estates and trusts and EINs. You need to be at least an accredited investor. You need to set up your own banking system, and you need to be a lobbyist if you want to participate in the political side of things. All that is attainable and can be done by anybody. That's not reserved for anybody of a certain ilk or anything. Anybody can do that, and but you won't be able to do it come soon, because once this window closes and this system and this fiat system that we on is over, that's it for you. You won't be stuck there.
No. Well, to do a little pushback, yes, you do have the opportunity to opt out. My family, over the past 5 years, we already made the financial preparations to build parallel economic systems, things like that on the blockchain. One thing I would say is, if you cannot start a trust, if you cannot start a corporation, let's just say, for example, the atmosphere in America becomes part socialist, part communist, right? And then they centralize everything. What will not happen is they cannot centralize or regulate decentralized Bitcoin ecosystem. They can't do that. So the United States has a certain amount that they own, right? But outside of their identification, outside of their ownership, you can still privately own Bitcoin. And Bitcoin works as a trust. It works as a bank account. It works as an asset that you can borrow from yourself. So if you wanted to opt out of taxation, if you wanted to opt out of regulation, you'd have to be able to have decentralized access, non-KYC based access to Bitcoin. All other assets are going to go to zero. Bitcoin might even go to zero as well. But Bitcoin is the only coin that can recover if the dollar goes zero, if altcoins go to zero, because it's a deflationary asset. So what economists are speaking about right now is repricing the dollar in preparation for a new monetary system, and then creating a Bitcoin reserve for the United States. So if they do that, they back the dollar by Satoshi, they fractionalize the U.S. debt, they tokenize the dollar, and then that would eliminate the U.S. debt damn near within a year, within I say a 5-year time span. Because if we have scarcity in terms of Bitcoin being the most volatile as well as the most scarce asset in the world, backing the dollar by gold will not be a solution. So backing the dollar by Bitcoin, and then retail investors or individuals like yourself accessing Bitcoin in decentralized marketplaces can protect you from centralized systems, can protect you from being outed in case they want to do a UBI or universal basic income. Setting up a trust and things like that of that nature, you need to be thinking about, if I can't do that myself, if I don't have the resources to do it myself, I need to be working together in groups, and I need to be combining resources to be able to make these moves together. Because if you can't do things by yourself, you can do things and you can get shit done in numbers. Because 2 heads is better than 1. If one person has $100,000 and the other person has the brains to get it done, then you guys need to come together and build your resources and create a community for both your families. Make your children beneficiaries. Appoint IBCs as a trustee of your organizations. But doing things domestically here under the U.S. Supreme Court is not going to help you at all.
Question.
Shout out to the young brothers out here with the knowledge.
Question. With all that being said, with everybody's input on what they think the solution is to withstand what's about to happen, which we know, what the outcome of that is, I just got one question. With this Bitcoin frenzy, with all of these different so-called digital assets, is it not ran by computers?
No, Bitcoin's not ran by computers, but
Meaning, you need a computer in order to purchase Bitcoin, some way, shape, or form.
No, you don't. You don't have to use Bitcoin online. Bitcoin works offline as well. The Satoshi Nakamoto protocol.
How does that work? How do you purchase without being online?
All right. So Bitcoin works without electricity, right? So Bitcoin works off the power of nodes, and nodes work through Satoshi fragmentation. So Satoshis are like a fraction of Bitcoin.
No, it is. I know that.
I'm breaking it down. The Satoshi Nakamoto protocol allows for the entire Bitcoin network and the technology to work internally in every fraction of a Satoshi. That means the entire network, the entire $1 trillion market capitalization can work and is available and accessible through $1 of Bitcoin, through one Satoshi. That's how nanobanking technology works. So Bitcoin Satoshi Nakamoto protocol works with radio frequency. It works with Bluetooth signal radio frequency.
How do you purchase Bitcoin without a computer?
I'm explaining that to you now. You can transact
You
Bitcoin.
might want to say it in layman terms. Because the elaboration is a little bit too scientific for people. So you might want to just break it down in layman.
You can purchase Bitcoin with radio frequency. You can use Bitcoin on Bluetooth signal. You can use Bitcoin on any other type of static electricity based generation. You can go about transacting Bitcoin on solar energy. You don't need a computer because Bitcoin can work with the ledger.
So let me ask you this. I'm pretty sure with all that information, you're aware of solar flares that are taking place on the sun. Am I correct?
Yes, but radio frequency still works, even if there are solar flares.
If solar flares hit the planet, it could literally wipe out anything electrical.
in communications.
Any communication, any radio frequency, anything.
Right, but there are radios that have Faraday technology that protect them from solar flares. Like, for example, a satellite phone is impenetrable to a solar flare because they have Faraday technology to protect them from.
Well, let me ask you,
that type of frequency.
Yeah. How many people are aware of that?
90% of the people in positions in the House of Representatives and the U.S.
No, I'm talking about the average.
Average people are not prepared.
Okay.
Which is why you ask people.
So my question again: if these events take place, because it could be in multitudes.
If the events take place, the average person needs to be asking people who are prepared. That's what needs to be happening.
But see, this is the thing. That is not happening.
That is happening. Right now, we're having these conversations. Now you're asking.
How many people was in this room?
3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17.
You talking about millions of people on the planet.
Correct.
Versus 15 to 20 people in a room.
It starts with
let's get to reality.
The reality is we're wasting time arguing when you could.
No, I'm not arguing. I'm just asking you.
Hey, let the brother land his point. Can I?
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just asking you a question. That's a logical question.
You have to ask the right questions and spread them.
That is the right
question. Brother land, fam, we ain't gonna get nowhere to keep doing that, dog.
Exactly.
I don't think y'all were mods on the stage. If we're having a back and forth.
Bro, it don't matter. We was moving smooth until you started with that, bro. Just let the brother Wayne have respect for it, bro.
Let them go back and forth.
Like y'all.
No, I'm not gonna go back and forth. The brother's right. He's right.
How are we gonna
let me land my plane, and you can see what I'm trying to get to.
That's being respectful. Damn.
Get the fuck out of here with the fake outrage, bro. It's too early for y'all to be pinpointing how the fuck we see.
Chris, I don't think the brother was saying was trying to go back and forth. I think he was trying to make a statement and ask a question, but he can't get through the question because he's going to keep cutting them off. And then
it's a simple error, guys. I am mute your mic.
You know what the question was?
Listen,
where you at, bro?
Come on, fellas, calm down. God damn, all right, man. Look, man, come on, answer your point, man. Get your point out, Sanaya. Come on, man. Sanaya, go ahead and get your last words out, bro. Come on, man. Y'all getting too emotional over the weirdest conversation. Just get your point out, bro.
When people. This is the problem. When people
get your point out, bro.
Let me get my point out, brother. Let me get my point out. Don't force me and rush me. It's a point that needs to be addressed. So let me take my time and get my point out. The point is, a lot of people, I hear on these different. That's why I don't come on Clubhouse like that, because I hear these different back and forth conversations that's useless information where we don't see the reality of what's really going on. I sat this morning and watched the video, 2 videos. One female is with the Fed, and she's uncovering information. Her name is Danielle DiMartio. Another video that I watched was from another gentleman. He's an economist. And both individuals spoke about something that I've been telling people about for the longest, that people are ignoring, that we all need to pay attention to. I was focused on Bitcoin. I know Bitcoin in and out. I know how it works. I know about the nodes. I know about all of that stuff. But the reality is, number one, which we all know, we're in a failing economy. This economy is done. And they're saying that basically none of these are going to pull us out of this situation. None of them. We can come up with all of these philosophical explanations dealing with how we can pull ourselves out. Number one, we got to come together. All people have to come together to come out of this, because you got countries, whole countries, that are in recessions. Not just the U.S. Other countries in recessions that is really affecting the U.S. They're saying, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows this already, they're saying that we're not even in a
recession anymore. We're in a depression. They're just not telling us. And all of this fake news being put out about how the economy is doing well, that's bullshit. It's all a crock of bullcrap. And nobody's focusing on the big things that's happening throughout globally. Number one, and that's just a small portion dealing with the solar flares. I can go into other stuff that could completely wipe out all communication, could wipe out all Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, all of those different so-called assets. Can I finish?
I'm waiting for you to finish.
But you're being rude, dude. See, that's why I don't come on these platforms.
Hey, dude,
because you get so many people.
Cut the crap with the emotional stuff, bro, and just get to the point, bro. Don't worry about people being rude. You a man. Who cares? Get to the point, bro. Come on, now what y'all on, man? Y'all back and forth with the calling people names and all this crazy crap, man. Get to the point and be good with your words, bro. That's it.
I'll get on here later. I ain't got to deal with this.
Oh, no, he's getting emotional, just like you said. Come on, man.
You know what I don't fucking like? You know what I don't fucking like? Is that when we talk about
Kazi, don't worry about it, Kazi, because now we talking about emotion. You came across, you gave the information, we broke it down in layman terms. He said he knew everything about Bitcoin. Come on, man. Why are you asking questions? That's all I understand. People don't know how to conversate. You know what I mean? The people want to share information, take the information, move on, bro. Come on now, Bitcoin ain't gonna be the savior for nobody. If it's the damn solar flare, we're gonna have to strap up, shoot it and boot it, learn where the fucking food reserves are, and figure it out. That damn ain't no damn Bitcoin. Come on, bro. What are you talking about?
Second. What I was this, right? Bitcoin can be insured, and anything that you have on a ledger, hey baby, I like to hear. Anything you got on a ledger, right? Anything you got on a ledger is offline. So say for example, somebody has like Lloyd's of London. So for me to communicate with them, I need to be able to know a representative that works at the Lloyd's of London that is still managing these fucking gold reserves. You see what I'm saying? If I can get to Lloyd's of London, I can get access to my fucking reserves that secure my Bitcoin in case there is no fucking offline, in case we are offline. So this is how I look at it, right? The moment people like me that are in high net worth positions start seeing me is at an all-time high, you need to be going to the financial districts of the world. That's what you need to be doing. You need to get the fuck out your country. And I'm not gonna tell you where I'm at right now. But I'm not in the United States right now because I know it's about to happen. You understand? I already have a passport. I already have my locations and everything solidified. Other people are not moving like that. They're just waiting for shit to hit the fan, and then when shit hits the fan, they're gonna try to run. No, you need to relocate and be prepared. The way that you do that is you understand, okay, where are my Bitcoins at? Where are my assets? If I get disconnected from the internet, I need to have a way to still operate with gold reserves, or I need to get enough gold. Like if I could have at least, you see what I'm $1,000 or $100,000 in gold bullions, or if I can get gold powder and I can pinch this shit and get that gives me more liquidity to be able to operate and be able to move and get shit done. Because people are still gonna accept gold. People are still gonna want fucking money to be able to trade amongst each other. People are still gonna want guns. The only thing that's gonna buy guns, that's gonna buy bullets, that's gonna buy is resources and assets. That's it. Those are the only things that's gonna work when shit falls apart.
Hey, but look, Kazi, you say you got a passport and all, but I mean, America's the last domino piece. Once America goes down, I mean, nobody's safe, man.
No, you're not understanding, Marcus. New York, London.
Bro, how can you prove this, bro? That's because I don't know. You don't know, bro.
No. You're not speaking to somebody who's just a fucking civilian. I'm not a civilian. I'm not a citizen.
Then who are you?
I'm a U.S. representative in the U.S. Embassy. This is Kazi Atkins. So what I'm speaking to you about is the Chicago Financial District. I'm talking about the Lloyd's of London, the London Financial District. When these places fall down, that is where military is going to be. Because to keep society together, you have to insure the assets of the government. You have to insure those assets. If those assets fall, there will be no rebuilding civilization.
If those assets are taken, there will be no realization. So the guns, the military, the protections for the first few years or so are in those areas primarily, because that's where civilization is going to hoard around, where there is gold. The wealthy are going to sit here trying to fucking protect their civilization and protect whatever little pieces of civilization and normalcy that they can hold on to. So they're going to be structuring these little fucking, like these little militia places. That's what's going to happen. They're going to split society into fragments. You're going to be split into districts. That's already been put through Obamacare.
Hunger Games.
No. I'm talking about Obamacare. Hunger Games was in relation to the policy that they legalized because of Obamacare. Okay, if you didn't read the documents and formats and things that they put through legislation, if martial law taking place, if martial law breaks out, you will be put into fractions. You'll be put into factions. That's what's going to happen. All right, that's what Excuse me?
The 15-minute, you talking about the 15-minute cities?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
But what you were laying out, though, is a way that people can survive during the fall of society.
Yes,
that's what anyone has ever done.
That's what I'm talking about.
What he's laying out is you have to be able to stretch it as long as you can. Obviously, no one's going to be able to fall, to survive the fall of man or whatever inevitable crazy shit. These bastards are going to just all kill each other or kill all of us. But you might as well be on the other side of it as long as you can. Figure out a way to move while you can. You need liquidity.
But recently, this put a plug on us. The fucking crowd, whatever that shit was, that failed state shit that knocked out all them flights and shit.
Yes. That's happening at the top of the market, guys. I've been telling y'all for the longest that the market is dropping. The market's about to crash. This is not a coincidence that this fucking outage happened at the top of the market. It's not a coincidence at all.
That's a fact. That's what I was trying to say.
Well, that's why the hardest part about surviving any fall of any civilization is community, is finding people that can actually communicate well together. Otherwise, we'll fucking eat each other's heads off. That's the only thing that ever sustains.
Think about this too, right? This is the first time that there has been a global outage across the board. That could have been very well a test. They said that wasn't a failure. It was an update. It was a software update. See what I'm saying? That connects to the monetary system. That connects to the stoplights. That connects to online transactions and online servers around the world. Microsoft, airplanes, flight logs, all of that different shit. So once it went down, right, that shows the vulnerability. Okay, now we know that this one company name, this company is what's going to be under constant fucking attack by every single one of our adversaries. Now they know the company name. Knowing the company name is a fucking risk of national security. And they said it out loud what the company's name is responsible for the outage. So if I was a hacker, right, and I want to exploit an international fucking server, I'm going to sit here and try to gain as many people as I can to attack it and then hold ransomware attacks in regards to it. Let me charge $1 billion to keep society online. Because if they don't, I'm just going to fucking hack their shit and shut it down. So what you need to do is understand, what do I need to do when the market's at all-time lows? You need to start making investments. What do I need to do when the market's at all-time highs? 20, 30, 40, 50-year highs. Okay, I probably need to start thinking about society fucking falling apart, because this is probably another 2008. This is probably another fucking COVID-19 pandemic drop. This is probably going to be worse than that. If they had to change the definition of recession when they open the economy back up, what the fuck? Yeah, we are definitely in a recession, and we're heading into the greatest depression of all time. So if the market is about to drop, these are the last few months while we are at the top of the market that you will get to prepare for it. Wealthy people move from cities when market hits all-time highs. I'm gonna say that again. Wealthy people relocate from main cities, like the people who live in New York, the people who live in Chicago, the people who live in London. They start going away from the city into the mountains when the market hits all-time highs. They start gathering resources. They start getting goods, because if you can't, I don't know if you heard or not, but they've been talking about 2024, get prepared with food and stock up. They're talking about stock up 2024. It's trending all over Twitter right now. It's trending all over Twitter right now.
Hey, but I think that outage already made a backdoor. They already had a backdoor because of that outage. You know, they showed you that the same scenario happened in that movie Leave the World Behind, produced by the Obamas.
Yeah, they install these worms and shit in there, and they can always access later on. They've actually admitted that there's been backdoors installed that they can't figure out yet. You look at the national security shit; it's crazy, dude. So yeah, I mean, we're looking at a situation here. What are we all gonna do? We're just gonna complain about it. Or we're gonna listen to people that want to talk about it. When smart people want to talk about it, I'm gonna fucking listen, dude. It's not gonna be long before all the people that are actually moving out here are gonna be totally gone off the app, off the fucking face of the earth, for all you know. Because they're not going to be around, you know, feeding bread to people that are going to fucking not take advantage of it. We need to take action now, not just, oh, this is going on, that's going on.
Chris,
doesn't get us anywhere.
Were you on my stream yet? Was that you I was talking to yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been watching, bro.
Okay, so you were on our stream. Look, did you see when I showed you the market and I showed Bitcoin about to drop to 15.5?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Dude, I was watching.
Yeah. Okay, cool. 90% of people think Bitcoin's gonna go to 100K, 150K, 200K. Bitcoin could go to $0. Bitcoin could go back to $1 again. That's how serious this shit is. The market is at 50-year highs. For Bitcoin to go any higher, Bitcoin could go.
Go ahead.
Let
me throw something about this Bitcoin. See, y'all brought up a good point because in 2020 when the COVID hit, just to give relevance to what he said. It was actually, it was growing. Cryptocurrencies was growing. Like the blockchain was really at a different fast-paced growing market. You know what I mean? It was digital assets was growing. Banks, money managers, insurance, all types of firms, all types of things was moving. And I think it was at 10 grand. I don't know. I just got to really go back in and look. But it was at 15
and 12.
Yeah, it was at 15. Yeah, 15, 12. So it was at a high. It was really up at a high. It was high up. So he has a point there, and then COVID, you know what I'm saying, and then boom, and then now we in the, you know what I mean, then it went down, and then it's rising back up. So now look how high it rose. So it's like he's making a good point in reference to strategy and money markets and things of that nature.
49 to 45, 46 is where Bitcoin was at right before the market got shut down. Then it went to 15. Then when the market opened back up, like just to give you reference, right? Billionaires pay attention to lunar cycles because there's 9 lunar cycles that are significant. 9 lunar cycles, 9 phases of the moon. So when you go and you look, the alpha eclipse that happened in 2019, 2020, while Bitcoin was at 15, gave us reference to push us all the way up to 45, 46. And then when you see how that incline stopped at 73.5, the Omega eclipse that just happened in May caused this big ass drop from 73.5 all the way down to 53 and so on. So it's been dropping, it's been rising since that eclipse in 2019, 2021, and then it's been dropping since May. You see what I'm saying? That's how you pay attention. It didn't stop going up until that next eclipse. That's how you start to look at significant events. And when you start seeing alignment in such a significant events like lunar eclipses and things like that of that nature, who do you think is also thinking about stocks? Like you saw what happened to Walmart, you saw what happened to Facebook stock. You see what I'm saying? All of these different companies, they're bringing an opening. They already said that to boost and stimulate the economy, they're bringing Walmart back to 24/7 nationwide. You see what I'm saying? They're also getting rid of they're making a subscription. They're getting rid of self-checkout and making a subscription where you got to be a Walmart Plus member to even have But the whole point is they're doing a cash grab. They're squeezing any liquidity out of the dollar right now. You see, the federal government doesn't have room to go and lower interest rates. They kept them exactly where they're at, and if anything, they're going to be raising interest rates again. Because at the top of the market, you do not have room to raise interest rates at the top of the fucking market. You're supposed to be dropping interest rates, but you can't do that either because that's going to cause economic instability because you raise the fucking printing so much. Right now, they devalue the dollar so much to the point that the dollar could drop 75% in terms of purchasing power in the next 5 years. The dollar was at 114. Now it's got to go all the way back to 61, 71 in terms of DXY valuation. So you have to really think, if the dollar ain't worth shit in the next 5 years, you need to be taking advantage of the spending and purchasing power right now. If they, like, for example, if they're getting rid of fucking Family Dollars and what's it called, Dollar Generals, right? The reason for that is because BRICS nations in alignment are backing their digital yuan by gold, and they're also in the correlation with Saudi Arabia because the petrodollar deal just ended on June 5th of this year. That means that Chinese products are going to become 10 times more expensive than they are right now. That means Family Dollar is going to be a luxury fucking store. You understand? Dollar General is going to be a luxury fucking store. That's what's about to happen. You see what I'm saying? You're going to be fucking looking at, you like, I ain't never seen popcorn go for $10. You know what I'm saying? It's usually $1, $2 type shit. I ain't never seen no shit like that. I ain't never seen no fucking dollar drink go to $10. But that's exactly what's about to happen in terms of economy. You're going to starve to death if you are not paying attention. So get you some rice and beans. You see what I'm saying? Make sure that you understand how to oxygenate fucking store goods.
Get you some sardines.
Yeah, that
sardines.
Too. Protect yourself from weevils. Because, you know, because a lot of people don't know about when they stock up. People stocking up for the first time, they don't know about weevils, you feel me? Make sure you protect yourself from weevils or all that other shit. And that's really going to save you, what I just told you. Because if you don't know, if you're not familiar with stocking up, weevils like to get in rice and bags and beans and shit. Bugs and shit like to eat your grains and shit up. Protect your shit up. Make sure that you oxygenate your stored food. Do all of these different things, bro. Make sure that you get some orgonite. Make sure that you get some radiation protection jewelry. Because if there's radiation in the atmosphere, you see what I'm saying? You're going to be more liable to sickness. But if you have radiation protection and EMF frequency protection, you can protect yourself. You can also get you some medication like some vitamin E, some vitamin D, some vitamin C, all of these different things. You could go about getting you some ginkgo biloba, some ginseng, all of these different things. Like, you have to really think. If you're going to be using your eyes more, you need eye medication. If you're going to have less water, you're going to have shit that's going to keep you hydrated, shit that's going to keep your blood level and your blood sugar up. You see what I'm saying? You have to be thinking about your metabolism. You got to be thinking about all this different shit. You have to think about medication-based energy. I could go. You can tell I was raised by military parents.
Just don't go too far. I ain't gonna go too. Yeah, bro.
I'm sorry.
Thank you for your submission, brother.
We got about 4 months left. That's what I'm talking. I'm trying to give all this shit to y'all right now. 4 to 5 months.
All right, Mike. What's up, Mike? Speak up. Speak on that 4 or 5 months, bro. What's up, Bitcoin, man? Bitcoin, where's that? Get your money up.
What I wanted to say was that is everyone be paying attention to JD Vance, because he says that he wants to slightly devalue the American dollar. Not as much as Kazi is talking about, but he says it's going to make the American economy a lot more competitive against those cheap Chinese goods.
Yeah, devaluing the dollar, yeah. Repricing it, as a matter of fact.
But he's saying that that's a good thing.
Yes, it is absolutely a good thing. But how it's going to affect people who are not prepared for that and who are not ready to modernize their financial strategies, it's going to be very drastic of a change. It's like going from a job to starting a business in comparison.
I think he's talking about things will just get, the Chinese products will become 50% more expensive. It won't be 3 times as expensive.
I think people need to overcome their idea that someone's going to like equalize this, right? How cold this shit really is, okay? Like, you gotta be a little fucking shrewd to make it to survive. Like, it's not the way, we didn't design the system. It's the way it is, man. And you could see how hard it is right now. And it's going to, like, as I said, these changes affect people that are not prepared. And that is really fucked up because most people don't have the information to be prepared to do anything about it. But that's just the way it is. It's incumbent upon you to understand what time it is. No one is going to freaking take care of it. Anybody, man. Even your own family is hard to find sometimes, right? A lot of us are hard-pressed to even rely on people that say they love us. So imagine when the shit hits the fan. What, matters as most is how sound you are about the situation. And the situation is drastic. It's going to get real hairy real fucking fast. And if we really care about our neighbors and each other in a community, we're going to have to show it in ways that support actually surviving this shit, because people are going to eat each other alive. I'm telling you, man, it's going to be very bad out here. We already have, you know, during COVID, we saw the first thing of it. Your neighbors will call the fucking authorities on you if you're not vaccinated. That was just the start of how it's going to look. If you're not falling in line with whatever credit system is going to be, right? Because the fallout is going to be so drastic that it's going to have to be some sort of social credit system, because most people are not prepared. Most people are going to be on the wrong side of it. And so societies and civilization is going to be probably really different than what we imagine. People are going to really bend, you know, to a different level of humanity, or to a nature that you would never revealed yet. We're going to be pressed for it, I think. So, I mean, what do we do?
I don't want to fearmonger people, but
but that's just the reality, man.
Think about the underpass of your house, right? Think about, let's just give that for an example. Think about the underpass of your house that you may not use very much, right? Go about getting you some fucking guns. Go about getting you some ammunition. Go about getting you some sturdy blades with sturdy handles. Make sure that you go about getting you plenty of canned goods and resources and things like that of that nature. Make sure that you get a vacuum seal for, you know, dried perishables and all of these different things. Like, right now, while they still have shit in the store, y'all need to be going every day. I'm not talking about to cause panic, because when you go and you cause panic, it's not going to be shit for you to buy if everyone follows and sees what you're doing. So you have to go and you have to move smart. You have to buy shit and multiple trips. You see what I'm saying? Make it unnoticeable and start stocking shit up. And don't even tell nobody in your fucking family. Don't tell nobody what you're doing. It should be there, and it should be in the back of your mind. Because if somebody else knows a secret, it's not a secret anymore. You see what I'm saying? And then all they have to do is tell somebody else that you don't know knows. And now your shit is compromised. So just move careful, man. Like, medication, all of that shit. You cannot trust anybody but yourself right now. You cannot trust anybody but yourself. If this shit falls apart, it's going to be survival of the fittest. And the only people that you need to be trusting are the people who want to help you survive. And you can't even trust them.
I got you. I got chill out with the I got you. I got the survival. We know the survival mindset. Yeah, I appreciate that. What's up, Swab? What's up, man? Speak on the topic, bro.
I want to say something about crypto.
Go ahead, man. Speak on it.
Okay. Yeah. So I noticed that JD Vance is in favor of allowing cryptocurrency, whereas Biden and I think Harris now, the Democratic Party, seem to be more opposed to crypto. They want to regulate crypto more and possibly suppress some forms of crypto. This seems like a pretty major difference between the two parties. What are the arguments for and against? I mean, I suppose you got the people talk about the high carbon emissions from the Bitcoin. What do people think about all this?
Bitcoin mining is no longer high carbon footprint, because you can go about generating Bitcoin completely on a virtual private server. You can generate 24/7 without any mining rig. You can replace a mining rig operation with a brokerage operation, and then there's zero to little carbon footprint. So that's bad.
It's more. I think the Ethereum is the network that has successfully eliminated carbon emissions. But Bitcoin, even on a private network, I mean, someone else has got to do somewhere someone's got to do the calculation.
No, yeah, the trading, like every one of those assets can be traded. So, like, if you have $100,000, right, and you're using the mining operations to be able to generate Bitcoin, or you're using the mining operations to be able to generate Ethereum, it's going to have a high carbon imprint on society. But if you are using $100,000 and then it's compounding itself on a brokerage account, let's just say you generate 10% or you generate 60%. That's one Bitcoin that you generated based off profits without any carbon footprint at all, with no mining rig operation. And that's possible now in the cloud. That's not even on Earth. So you could go about connecting a virtual private server to an expert advisor that works in a cloud server that could generate Bitcoin with no carbon footprint. That's how modern trading. That's how modern firms are operating. They're not using rigs. Rigs are a retail.
I have to admit, I wasn't aware about the cloud mining, but if there's Bitcoin being mined in the cloud, then those cloud computers have to use electricity.
Not as much. It's cloud. It's satellite. It's not computers. These are computer-based satellites that also work on solar-based energy. You see what I'm saying? So satellites don't work on Earth.
The cloud computers are located on planet Earth.
Yes, but servers. Sir, I understand what you're talking about. In retail servers, I'm talking about not domestic on-base servers, not on planet-based servers. I'm talking about satellites that are completely autonomous and completely separate in how they operate. Like most satellites that are put in space don't have batteries that get replaced. You see what I'm saying? They're solar powered. And then they have servers that are already in space that they are powered by, that have maybe a remote connection here in the United States to information being relayed to it. But it's the computers are connected to it. Satellites are not connected to computers here domestically. We're connected to it. That's why it's a cloud server.
Hey, Trump is going to be in that rally. He's going to be at that convention conference. I'm in Nashville, that Bitcoin conference, and that's going to be that's going to be a big move because they say it's going to rally to a new ATH, and that's a big deal.
He wants to do a Bitcoin reserve, U.S. Bitcoin reserve, and that's talking about backing the dollar by
That's a big deal.
Yeah,
that's a big deal. That's a power move.
Only thing is, right, if he backs the dollar by Bitcoin, then we could be seeing the dollar drop to lows that we haven't seen since the 1940s. And Bitcoin could also follow suit. Like Bitcoin could go back to $1 per coin. But y'all have to realize that is the only way that Bitcoin can go to $1 million a coin. For it to go to $1 million a coin, it has to go through a massive depreciation in price and grab liquidity. So this will be one of the biggest liquidity grabs that we see in modern history because of the volatility of it as an asset. If Bitcoin stays and it goes from 73, because like the reason that would happen, right, is because we have 700% more unrealized losses in the commercial banking system than we did in 2008. In 2008, we had like $700 million, $900 million in unrealized losses. Now we have what? I think. Well,
Maybe I'll just say something. I was going to say, instead of using Bitcoin to back the dollar, why not just use gold? It seems a lot more certain and stable.
Well, the thing is, I'm gonna be real with you. You have to give that people. If you buy gold, people want to say, "Where's my gold?" It's a tangible thing. They want to have it. So it's good to do that, but people buying gold, they got to store it.
Well, what I mean is,
they got to find places to store it.
The American government stores that in Fort Knox.
People keep saying that there's no gold there. They saying there's no gold there, but I don't believe it. I believe the gold is still there. Then why would they move it? You know what I mean? It's big as it's secure.
Given the current gold price, there's not enough gold to back the dollar. There's just too much stuff out there. If they really don't want to do that, actually, if they're talking about it, there's a possibility. The World Bank has a paper, and there's a possibility that they have to reprice the gold in order to back the dollar. Currently, the gold on the Fed's account is the historical value, so it's a cap like $40 something per ounce. That's the old price. Bernanke was not Bernanke. I think Bernanke at one point was asked the question, "Is gold considered money?" He said no. So they still have to. If they're honest, they still supposedly they still have the gold, but they have to reprice the gold. Yeah, largely increase the price of the gold to give Federal Reserve the account on their balance sheet. So in order to use gold to back part of the dollar, they can't totally use gold to back the dollar. If they go back to gold currency, gold standard, They can't do the monetary policy anymore. They can't manage the money. They don't want to do that. Basically, they can't do that.
That's a good point.
What I want to know is what do people think about the Democrats trying to regulate crypto? Because what they're arguing is that they think that crypto is harmful because it's not generating any prosperity. Is that about what are people thinking of? Think about what? You gotta be clear. What you say? Think about. Well, because you got people like J.D. Vance who think that crypto is a good thing for society, and whereas you got people like Joe Biden, he's still the president, and he thinks that crypto shouldn't be. It should be suppressed a bit and regulated. And the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, is trying to not allow certain kinds of crypto. And some people think that it promotes financial instability. What do people think? Is that a valid argument?
If you look at any government, right, one of the core power and the function is to regulate money. If they can't even regulate money, there's hardly anything that they can do instead getting money to all the very political government programs. Right? So if you look at the function of cryptos, right, who's really needing cryptos? It's the dark side of the society where people don't want money to be tracked. So it really goes back to the core of how the society want to manage their money and make it convenient and useful in daily functions. Yes, people don't want to choose a victim. If you're money and spend it, you're really with crypto. What function does it provide?
It's not used for money laundering. Bitcoin's completely transparent.
That's not true. That's an all or nothing statement.
I heard someone say that Monero is much better for money laundering.
Yes.
Yes, so that's right. So the best money laundering is crypto, not necessarily Bitcoin, but other kinds of.
I mean, money laundering can happen with diamonds too. I mean, if somebody wants to pay somebody to get hit, somebody's not going to pay you in cash that can be traced to a serial number. I'm not going to teach you how to get away with murder, right? But people would use diamonds for the transaction. They wouldn't use cash, they wouldn't use Bitcoin because it has an electric signature. It has an electronic signature attached to it.
But now they're saying that it's better to use Monero than Monero is someone electronically. That's dangerous.
No, check it out, right? I'm sitting here saying a little bit too much. Say for example, right? If I give you a specific location and I send you an encrypted message that has a deciphered understanding of that location, and then you go pick up those diamonds, I know that you went to that location, and then from a distance I could have somebody watching you go pick up those diamonds to make sure that you're the right person, you went and followed procedure. You're not going to get away from somebody that's spending in diamonds, right? They probably have the resources to track you down. But if somebody does give you diamonds, then you can pick those up. And how would somebody trace them back to you once they're in your possession? You see what I'm saying? I don't have to hand it off to you.
But the thing is with that stuff you're talking about, the safe drug where you send someone a secret location, etc. The person who's collecting the diamonds is scared that someone's watching that location.
Michael, if somebody's a hitman and they don't pick up diamonds, I don't think they're scared.
Yeah, but you see, with Monero, you don't even have that problem at all. You see why they like Monero.
Yeah, I understand it. Because it's completely anonymous. Completely anonymous.
Yeah, you see, it's much better. Also, imagine if someone was ordering a hit on someone that was
across the world. Right.
A long way away, yeah, you know, much easier.
Modern diamond transactions are Monero. But yeah, Bitcoin's not used for trafficking or anything else like that. I could understand
if you had your Bitcoin set up like anonymously through a foreign trust, like that's what I do, right?